Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to this week's episode of Adventures and Mousecapades. This week, we are kind of going off an adventure rather than a mousecapade, or more of a debacle, I guess. Yeah.
That's a better word.
This is just a quick recap of our travel on our most recent trip, which was on the Disney Magic.
Yes.
Going from Galveston to Galveston, stopping at Progresso and Cozumel. Now, we will talk about that specific trip on the Magic next week.
Indeed.
But we wanted to get something in pretty quick. There's a lot of stuff that has happened that we need to focus on. So we're like, we'll just get something out really quick because we want to spend a little more time on our trip report. So
yes. And
yeah.
We've had some family stuff this weekend, not in our family, but in my extended family. And just time has run out. Well, and travel
which
greatly impacted us too.
Yeah.
So.
You will learn about that today.
Yes.
The travel impact.
Yes.
So our travel to our vacation went pretty well. I don't think we had any issues.
No.
It was a little later of a flight, so we didn't have to get up crazy early, like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, we got picked up for our ride to the airport at like 7:15 in the morning, which is, considering how it usually is when we're going to the East Coast, is pretty great because that's usually about the time the flight's leaving.
We weren't going to the East Coast, though. We were going...
Well, hey, it's 2 hours different. We were going east and
yes,
south.
We were going east, yeah. So getting to the airport was fine. We went to a lounge in the airport just to chill before the flight, and that was fine.
Yeah, we went to the Centurion Lounge there in SeaTac Airport. Sorry, SEA. I'm sorry, it's the Seattle Airport. Whatever they want to be called, I'm going to call it SeaTac. So sorry.
Is it not SeaTac anymore?
No, they want to be called SEA now.
Okay.
Yeah, anyhow, SeaTac. And it was nice. We had it was busy, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Unlike the previous weekend of travel, I decided that I was going to bring my crutches, which meant that I could walk a lot faster and a lot farther with a lot less discomfort. And yeah, it was kind of much better getting through the airport on this weekend than it was on Super Bowl weekend when we were traveling. So,
yep, we got on the plane, had a fine flight, no issues.
Yeah.
Got to Houston. We stayed at the Marriott in the Houston and
in the Houston airport. Yeah.
Yeah. Point of note for that Marriott.
Yes.
They only have double beds in that Marriott. They do not.
And kings. They don't have double queen rooms. They have double rooms.
Double rooms. They don't have any queen rooms. They have king and double beds.
Yeah.
We booked through Disney. Did we book the hotel through Disney?
We did book that hotel through Disney. And I had done my research online. I must not have noticed, or it was misleading, or I just assumed who the heck uses double beds anymore. But I thought it was a double queen room. Yeah. It was not. And we got into the room and Alicia and I looked at each other like, well, 2 of us are not fitting on that bed.
No.
And so, yeah, Alicia went down and talked to the amazing cast members, or, well, whatever Marriott calls them, team members, down at the front desk, and was able to work out a transfer over to a king room, and they were able to roll in a bed for Sterling as well. So all worked out. Interestingly enough, there were a ton of people staying there. I think there was about 150 guests overnight for the Disney Magic sailing.
For the Disney cruise.
Yeah, we took Disney transportation the next morning. There was about there was 3 buses worth of folks, so just about 100 and I don't know math. It's not 150, but it's up there. And then there was a bunch of crew that were swapping out on that cruise as well. So when we checked in, there was a stack of envelopes. There was a bunch of crew members who were checking in when I got to the desk. And I noticed all of them were getting an envelope out of this stack. And yeah, it was probably 50 or so envelopes there at the desk. So a big crew change day as well. So lots of Disney business for the airport Marriott at IAH on that weekend. The other fun thing about the Houston airport is there is a subway. Evidently, there's also a skyway, which we missed. I think is a lot nicer. Oh. The subway, however, is
a ghetto people mover.
Yeah, she's not wrong, y'all.
Yeah,
it is. It is a people mover with taller sides, and
it's enclosed.
It's like a mesh roof.
Yeah.
The announcements that you're hearing are actually coming from the hallway that you're traveling down and are just coming through the basically open roof of this quote unquote subway.
I don't know. I thought it was a cool concept. Could be a little nicer. Could be like the one, oh gosh, where was that gorgeous airport that we were at last time that we liked?
Detroit.
It could have been like Detroit. That was a nice people mover.
That was a fantastic people mover. Yes. So anyhow, just note to selves, I don't think the Skyway gets you to the Marriott, but I'm pretty sure that if we were going between terminals that you could take the Skyway, and evidently it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't super impressed with the Houston airport.
No.
I don't know exactly how the layout is, but it took a long time to get places in between.
It did. There's a lot of walking.
In just one terminal. Like you can't go from one end of the terminal to the other easily. And it's like a 15-minute walk for your average person.
Yes, somebody who's not on crutches and walking super slow. And every time I walked, I passed a sign that said, this set of gates is 5 minutes away. I'm like, that's 15 for me. So. Yeah. And then coming home, also flew out. We were on Alaska. Alaska is a great airline. The problem with flying Alaska to and from most places that are east of Denver is that there'll only be like one or maybe two flights a day. Houston is one of those airports. Orlando is another one of those airports, and they have a very early morning flight and they have a late evening flight. There's nothing in the middle of the day. And when you're getting off a cruise, you are going to get to the airport after Alaska already leaves for the morning.
Yep.
And you are going to have hours and hours and hours to kill.
Yep.
And we had initially booked Alaska, I think it was like a 6:52 p.m. flight from Houston to Seattle direct up front, because hey, we just spent 5 nights with the concierge lounge and all the rest of that stuff. I didn't want to blow the good feeling. And so that was the original plan. And then we got to thinking, and we were like, that means we're going to sit around this airport for like 9+ hours with nothing to do. And that sounds like a horrible, horrible plan. Because I had booked that before we had ever been on our November cruise. And so I didn't know that there was really nothing to do or no place to go. There's a American Admirals Club that we could have bought like a day pass, but they had a big sign out front that says, no, go away. We're not doing day passes
Their
today.
capacity is full. Yeah.
And so it was uncomfortable. So I booked, this is on me. I said, oh, hey, there's like a 12:30 or 1 o'clock. No, I think it was earlier than that. Somewhere around noon flight from Houston to Chicago. And then we would have had like 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours, an exceptionally leisurely, well-paced out connection to hop Alaska back from Chicago to Seattle to get home on Friday right after the cruise. And we said, hey, that sounds like spending 2 to 3 hours in an airport instead of 9. Let's do that. Dear reader,
Listen.
that was a mistake. That was...
I have a question for you, Nathan.
Yeah.
We usually fly Delta. We used to fly Alaska all the time, but it for the same reason that we ran into it we switched over to Delta because most of our flights end up going to Florida.
Yeah.
And Alaska just didn't have the routes we wanted.
Yeah.
Why didn't we do Delta? Yeah.
Why didn't we do Delta? Is there a question?
I'm just curious. Yeah. I know there had to be a valid reason for it.
Because I didn't want to connect in Detroit or Minneapolis in the middle of the winter. That sounded like a bad idea.
Okay. But Chicago? Okay.
When I saw the option to rebook, for some reason, my brain read ORD, and I'm like, "Oh, sweet! That's Orlando. We'll just fly east a little bit across the Gulf, and then take the long flight home. But we'll be in first, so who cares?" And so I changed the flight, and then I was like, "Wait, ORD? That's Chicago. What the heck?" It's fine. It's fine. We have 2+ hours. We'll be fine. No, we weren't. On our way to the airport, the flight from Chicago slipped.
Just a little bit.
Just by like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I don't care. So we were going to have like an hour and 55 minutes as a layover instead of 2:15. Like, fine, whatever.
It kept slipping.
It kept slipping.
And slipping and slipping. And by the time we got to the airport, I think we were walking to the gate and got a notification that, oh, by the way, you have 3 minutes to get you have 3 minutes to get to your connecting flight.
Yeah. At which point we said poop. We did not say poop. We used stronger language, but yes. I'm trying to avoid that.
Yes.
And thus began the cascading fiasco. Mm-hmm. We were very polite. We used inside voices with each other and said bad things. I felt horrible. This is my fault. It's not my fault, but it's my fault.
We went and talked to one of the gate attendants.
Yes.
Once they had finished loading the plane, because there was
a plane going to Charlotte at the gate that we were sitting at.
Yeah.
But we had more hours, and I was like, okay, it's fine. Anyhow, yeah, we talked to somebody at a gate. They were eventually helpful. Took very long to do the whole rebooking thing.
Yeah.
And had all sorts of options. And we're like, okay, great, we'll do that. And then it was taking her like 10 minutes per person. And by the time she got through with one of us, like the seats would be gone that she was going after. Like, I don't quite understand what was going on there.
Yeah.
She was trying, like, I understand systems are stupid. The people who design these systems, and look, we work at Microsoft, I'm intimately familiar with. The people who design systems are far removed from the people who actually use them. So I'm not surprised that they have issues like this. But the net was eventually we got rebooked on the direct flight for Alaska because that was all that was left. But instead of all three of us being in first class, it was just me.
Yeah.
And Alicia and Sterling got put back in steerage.
Yeah.
In middle seats, because that's all that was left.
No, we didn't have seats.
Well, true.
We didn't have seats at all.
Yeah.
Now, while she was doing all this stuff, she put you on a flight to Phoenix first, right? Didn't she?
She was going. No, she was going to put you guys on a flight to Phoenix. I was going to go through Dallas.
Okay.
So she split us up. So now all of a sudden we had 2 reservation numbers.
Yeah. Okay. And we had asked, well, can't we just get put on the nonstop? And she said, we can only do that if there's nothing left.
Right.
And because everything was taking so long when she was doing person by person,
yeah,
there was nothing left. And what's interesting to me is we had a minor traveling with us. Mm-hmm. And because she was going person by person, there's a good chance that Sterling could have gotten pushed to another flight, which would not have been acceptable.
Yeah, I don't quite understand.
Yeah, it's interesting how they
going
could only do person by person rather than the whole reservation. Anyhow,
I think she'd already split me off and then realized that you guys got boned, and then
yes. So
anyway, she was from and in the middle of all this, while we had to wait to talk to somebody from American, we tried calling Alaska, and Alaska said pound sand, even though we paid Alaska for 3 first-class tickets from Houston to Seattle. They said, well, American's causing the problem, so it's on American to fix it, so good luck.
Yeah, even though we didn't ask to be put on American, they just put us on American in the first place.
Right. It was a code share flight.
It was code share, yeah.
So I was booked on a Alaska flight number that happened to be operated by American.
Yeah, ditto.
And Alaska didn't want to help from a customer service perspective. That was not ideal.
No. I think that just compounded the issue.
Yeah.
We did eventually all make it onto the nonstop flight that we initially had.
Yes. After sitting around the airport for 9 hours.
Yes. So because Sterling and I didn't have a seat and we were put back in coach.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of looking to see, look, there's a lot of seats left in premium. Not first, although it did show that there were seats in first, but there wasn't.
Yeah. They hadn't been assigned yet. The seats had been, the space had been sold, but names hadn't been put on a seat. So their seat selection thingy showed them as open.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was chatting with somebody at American, I think, on my phone.
Was it American or I thought it was Alaska?
Oh, no, it was Alaska. It was Alaska because this was an Alaska flight. Yeah. I was chatting with somebody from Alaska on my phone to try and see if I could update the seat to premium, and went through, all this chat and basically, let them know up front what I wanted. Went through probably 15, 25 minutes of chat. And then they said, I can't help you. I can't do seats. Okay. And I had also, while I was going through all this, I'd also called Alaska to try and get this figured out.
But that was a 45-minute wait.
It was a 45-minute wait. And so one of the nice things is you can, when you call them, if there's a long wait, they will give you the option to do a callback. And I love this feature. I think it is amazing. There's a lot of other companies that do this as well. So I did a callback. However, iPhone has this new feature where if it's from a number that you don't recognize, they will try to gather more information from them to see if it's a call you want to take. So I missed my callback because... Yeah.
So note to self, the automated system, because at one point I had one of those callbacks set up too, very early on when we saw this disaster unfolding before us. And then my first call was to Alaska. Well, actually, my first thing to do was start a chat with Alaska.
Yeah, same thing.
And they basically told me to pound sand and go talk to American, which...
Lots of pounding sand on this
Lots
thing.
of pounding sand. And at the very end of the callback thing, it says, here's the phone number that you will receive a call back from. Yeah. And I noticed that phone number was already in my contacts as an alternative phone number for Alaska that I have in my phone. So I was like, okay, I know this will ring through. And it didn't even dawn on me when you said you were doing a callback to say, hey, make sure you have this number. Sorry about that. I could have helped you there.
So for those of you who are doing something like this and getting a callback number, and you have an iPhone, make sure you add that number into your contacts list. That way it will ring through immediately.
Or temporarily disable the call screening stuff and the call blocking stuff and just deal with spam calls if they come through until you get the call you really want, and then turn all that crap back on. Yeah.
So I missed the call, but in my messages, it said, we will call you back again. And I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes later they called back. And I talked with somebody.
Yeah.
And I let them know pretty quickly, like the rundown. Here's what happened. We have paid for first class tickets, and now I'm not in first class, but I see that there are premium Comfort Plus, whatever the heck it's called, seats available. Could we possibly be moved into one of those seats? Guy said, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And he assigned seats to Sterling and I. However, on this flight, there were only middle seats available for the entire plane. So I got a middle seat. Sterling got the middle seat behind me. That's fine.
Yeah. Not fine, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's better than being at the back of the plane in middle seats.
Anyway, so we got our seats. We did not have boarding passes, however. When we initially got changed over, the lady that we were first talking with printed out, I don't know what she printed out, some odd ticket type things. She's like, you need to check in at the gate when they're available to get your boarding passes.
Well, she said, or just the Alaska app will magically generate a boarding pass for you.
It wouldn't. It didn't. We tried multiple times. We couldn't even check in.
Alaska's app sucks. Alaska's app disagrees with itself all over the place. Yes. You pull the refresh, it doesn't refresh. You click through 3 screens, and then all of a sudden it says, oh, I have new data. Alaska, get your crap together. That app is horrible.
I'd like to find a company that has a good app.
Delta's ain't half bad.
It's not half bad, but it's not half good either. And Disney's isn't great either. They have, what do you say? They have good technological aspirations.
They have excellent technology aspirations, but their execution is meh.
This is like, honestly, it's for any apps right now. Yeah. Okay, so we were down in the A3 gates at the Houston airport, which is kind of like an offshoot. It's like think of a school that has all the classrooms are full, so they have to have trailers.
Yes.
That's what this area is of the Houston airport.
and it's a bunch of like what used to be walk out to the tarmac, like uncovered like regional flights.
Yeah.
But they turned those with literal shipping containers into a covered walkway with jet bridges. The waiting area is just this massed waiting area for probably half a dozen total gates.
Yeah.
There are 2 locations that have maybe 4 outlets each for 300 to 400 people who are waiting for flights. It sucks.
Yep.
Anyhow. Yeah. Moving on.
So we were there really early, so there are a lot of other flights going on. We just kind of found somewhere to sit.
Next to outlets.
And just listen to podcasts. In between chats and waiting on calls. Listen to podcasts, other stuff. Sterling was doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Finally, it was somewhat getting close, and the Alaska folks were there at the counter. Mm-hmm. Went over there to talk with them and was basically told, we're not doing that flight yet.
Meanwhile, all the other people before and after you were talking about the Seattle flight.
Yeah. Maybe she just didn't like my face. I don't know. I was friendly because I know you have to be friendly because the things that these people deal with every day, you have to go in with a good attitude.
And we get really frustrated and pissed off, just like anybody else would in these situations. But when we're talking to somebody in person, that gets put behind a mask.
Yeah.
And our happy faces come on and we fall all over ourselves with pleases and thank yous.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And there's a different persona.
Yeah. So finally got back up there and let them know that we were told that we needed to check in with you. We can't check in on the app. It won't let us. And we don't have boarding passes. We were told that you were supposed to give us boarding passes. And she checked us in and she gave us boarding passes ? This is the weirdest boarding pass I've ever seen in my life. It's literally just a piece of paper that has my name on it and my seat number. There is nothing to scan.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
So, and they did this for each of us.
It almost was like the equivalent of a wooden stick with a key on it at like
Yeah.
a restaurant or a gas station for the bathroom.
But
Like
it was a I forget, carbon copy type thing. It was 2 sheets. So she wrote on it. We got the white copy, and then there was the yellow copy that they held on.
It's goldenrod, hon. It's
goldenrod.
the golden.
Sorry. She got the goldenrod copy. Yeah. So.
And then we got up to the attendant to actually check in, and she looked at us like, what the hell is this supposed to be? I was like, look, your colleague at the counter, this is what she gave us.
Yep.
We have had a day.
Yep.
And is there another way you can look us up?
And she did. She just looked it up on the tablet. She's like, okay, I have all 3 of you. And she got us in. We got on the plane. So Nathan got to sit in his beautiful, wonderful first class seat. And Sterling and I kept moving on down a couple rows back.
Now, the only reason I took first class is because there's no way with my knee and my crutches I could fold myself into
I know.
a standard seat. We were on Comfort Plus seats on the way to Houston.
Yes.
All
But
3 of us had a row. It
Yeah,
was
and those
fine.
have good leg room. So
Yes.
I know that. I'm giving you
I'm defending myself in public.
okay. I was very adamant when we were getting changed to planes that you had to have a first class seat.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care where Sterling and I are. Yeah. Okay. So we got on the plane. Sterling and I hit our middle seats. And as people were coming in, we were actually splitting up 2 different families because of us being in the middle seat. And they were so nice and said, do you want to each of us, there's 2 different families, to Sterling and then to me, do you want to take the aisle or the window? Could you take the window? Is that okay? So we can sit next to our family? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sterling's like, yeah. So we both got window seats.
Nice.
Yeah.
In the middle of all this.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, holding on.
Let's go back. So
okay, circling back.
I'm going to preface this before you go into all that.
Okay, got it.
So while we were at the initial counter trying to figure out what flights we were going to take,
right,
when we finally got situated with our flight, that's at 7 o'clock at night.
Yep.
It was 12.
Yeah.
They hadn't started boarding our original flight. It was still like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I asked her, what about our luggage? What's going to happen? She's like, oh, we'll pull that off right away.
Right. We had 4 checked bags.
Yeah, we had 4 checked bags. We'll pull that off right away and make sure that it gets on the flight.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, there's 2 hours. There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
And then there's, another 5
hours
after
more.
that. So
we're fine.
we're okay. While we're waiting, we just decide to see
Where's our bags?
where our bags are, make sure everything's okay. And a bunch of them were in Chicago.
Yeah. 3 of them
3 of them were in Chicago.
had landed in Chicago.
One of them looked like it was still in Houston.
One of them looked like it was still with us in Houston and was going to be on our flight. Until a little later.
Yeah.
When I think I was already on our flight and I checked the location. We have Apple ecosystem, so find the AirTags. I think we had already gotten on the flight and I looked again just to make sure it was with us, and it pinged a new location. And one of our bags was in Phoenix. I was like, what?
Yeah. So while we were waiting for all this, in the middle of me chatting, trying to get a better seat and all that stuff, I had also looked on American Airlines app to see where our luggage was. And that's when I noticed where it was. So I started a chat with American and was basically assured that they had gotten onto the flight. They were not sitting in Chicago. They were on the flight to Seattle. And I'm like, I don't understand how that is possible when there was literally only 3 minutes of time between when the prior plane landed and the next plane took off.
And also like the scan things that you could see, like loaded onto plane in Houston, loaded off of plane in Houston, transferred over to the other location, like basically handed off.
Yeah.
And then there was no scan of loaded onto plane in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, those are still in Chicago.
Yeah.
And the answer that Alicia got was like, well, wait 30 minutes and this stuff will update.
I'm looking at my chat right now and it says from the guy I was talking with, as per the update, The bags were picked up and transferred to Alaska successfully for transfer. So basically, I'm reading this now. He's saying, it's not my problem anymore. It's Alaska's problem.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I jumping ahead, I'm never getting on an American plane again. Never, ever, 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 ever dealing with American Airlines again.
I honestly, I don't think it's specifically American. It's not my problem from both of these airlines.
Yeah.
That is really frustrating.
The problem is American Airlines, like just United States' carriers and their commitment to the customer, which is crap. And I will throw that against all of the airlines. None of them care.
None of them. No, it's all about
We should go to Japan.
Their bottom line.
They at least care there.
It's clean.
It's clean. Yeah.
Because they will hurt you if you spit on the sidewalk.
That's more Singapore, but
Okay.
sure.
Anyhow, so we landed in Seattle finally.
Yeah.
And noticed that, hey, one of our bags actually made it.
Right. The one that went to Phoenix.
It went to Phoenix.
Got a flight from Phoenix to Seattle and actually beat us to Seattle by like an hour and a half.
It was there. We had to go to the Alaska baggage counter over in the baggage claim.
Which we divided and conquered because the Alaska baggage counter had a line.
It had a very long line.
And the American one did not. And it was closer from once we got over to the baggage claim area. So I hobbled over to the American location and was just chatting. And the guy was like, wow, you've had a day. But he was able to look at, like, I had the barcode numbers, the receipts from all the bags. And he's like, yeah, I can absolutely confirm those are still in Chicago, that Alaska has them. So like, you'll need to work with them. I was like, okay, cool. Like, at least now I have positive confirmation from somebody who deals with baggage all the time that that's what's going on. So I'm like, I was super appreciative. Shout out to Muhammad, who was working late night on Friday night in the Alaska baggage claim office in Seattle. Fantastic.
Yep. So back over to Alaska. When I had saw where to go, I just walked right up to the counter and the lady's like, I'm sorry, there's a line. And I look behind me. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. But I could see my bag right there. I didn't say that to her. I'm like, look, it's right there. And I got in the line and it was a very long line, but it moved very quickly. Nice. I was very surprised with that. And we got up to the front eventually and we're talking with Bobby at the baggage services there for Alaska, and Bobby was a huge help. She was, I mean, just the epitome of customer service. She was great.
100%.
And helped us out, let us know that, they'd get the bags over as soon as they could, asked for a description of each of the bags and what was in them, just in case it had to be opened. So, long story long, we got our bags at 3:00 this morning.
Yeah, 3:15 this morning.
Yep.
So 30 hours-ish after we got home, our bags got here.
Yep.
And it's been a weekend.
It has. We are home.
We are home.
I've unpacked only one of the bags, and that was the one that had the ice pump in it for Nathan's knee.
We got our toiletries out of the one that made it.
Yeah. And my CPAP, so that was good.
And the tequila was in that bag that went through Phoenix that made it to Seattle. So that was also very important.
Yes.
I mean, priorities, right?
I guess, yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
CPAP and toiletries. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to brush your teeth, but we have tequila. We're fine.
Yeah, we're home. We have our bird back. We have our luggage back.
Yes. I can't wait.
June's going to be better. June's going to be better. June's going to be better.
Yes. Well, at this point, we have other things going on. We have a trip to Anaheim that hopefully goes a hell of a lot smoother than this did coming up in April. And my mom and I are going to have to fly to Boston at some point in the not too distant future, TBD, based on some plans that are being made for some family stuff. Yep. So I'm not going to fully unpack, I don't think.
Well, we have to because it's all dirty and I need to do laundry.
Okay, well, that. Yes.
I will work on that later today. We're doing another podcast.
Yes. So this short little episode is now over a half hour long. So yay! This will be a very light edit and shipped. We will be back next week.
With our trip report.
Do a full rundown of our actual trip report of everything that was on our Marvel Day at Sea. And now we have all of these stories out of the way so we can actually focus on the fun stuff.
Yes.
But folks, I want to thank you for listening to this because it feels like it was a bit ranty, but honestly, we needed to get this off our chest.
This is our rant session.
Yes. Next week will be the raves. Today was rants. Yeah. Whew. Boy, that was a lot. There's one really great thing that happened in the Houston airport on Friday. And that is I got a call from the Marriott Vacation Club that they have our second rebound. Hey, are you sure you don't want to buy in package that they threw our way? And that is now confirmed. And we will be on the big island of Hawaii for Christmas. And we will be at Aulani in Hawaii on Oahu for New Year's. And cannot come soon enough.
Got a couple more months. Got a couple other things to go through.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Thank you for listening to us rant.
Yes, indeed.
As a reminder, we are not affiliated with American or Alaska.
Nope.
These are our own stories.
Yes.
Told from our own perspective.
Yes. We are affiliated with bad decisions like choosing to fly on American code share through Alaska.
Choosing to do a nonstop flight. Yeah.
Yeah. Never again.
Yeah.
Never
but
again.
We fully understand that we come from a place of privilege where we are able to do nonstop flights.
Now, and honestly, I don't find us having a need to fly through or to Houston ever again.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about this next week.
Yeah.
It was a great cruise. I loved being on the Magic. I don't feel the need to do another sailing out of Galveston.
No. Yeah, we'll unpack that a little more next week.
Yes.
Again, thank you for listening to us rant. If you want to forward this wonderful tale to somebody, please feel free to.
Yes.
And
or if you're with Alaska Airlines and want to give Bobby in Seattle, who was working baggage on Friday night, the 20th of February, BOBBI, she was amazing.
Yeah.
She deserves some kudos and a gold star and a pat on the back and a Starbucks gift card. She was amazing.
And if you guys can, head to wherever you listen to your podcast. Give us a review.
Absolutely.
We'd really like to hear it.
Yeah. 5 stars, all that good stuff. And then
5 stars, like, subscribe.
Yes. Smash
Ring that
bell.
Ding. Thank you for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Yes. Goodbye.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.